So we move back into Girls Division 1, and the Rock and Covenant just getting underway here. Should be a very good matchup. And there's a hit from the back row.
What a start. What a start.
And Cilian Concepcion gets the point for the Rock and a 1-0 lead. Now Concepcion will serve once again.
The Rock is in the red today. They were in black yesterday when we watched them.
So the Rock on the right side of your screen, Covenant on the left. And there's a kill for Lexus McCrae. The junior works from the far side. 2-0 the lead for the Rock.
After a day of pool play yesterday, the Rock ended up being seated, did you say 7th? In Division 1?
I think so, and there's an ace.
Wow.
Makes it 3-0. Yeah, they won earlier today over Carroll, and now this is what is effectively the quarterfinals of Division 1. Play on the near side, that's out of bounds, and another ace, and it is 4-0. And
we've seen this before, a team come out.
In fact, we just saw it the last game we did.
We sure did.
That second game. One team came out with a big lead, and the other team came back and won by a big amount, so it can change. There's another ace, and it's now a 5-0 lead for the Rock.
And you can tell by looking at them, Coach Stephanie White has this Rock team fired up and ready to go.
Concepcion with the serve. Set in the middle. This just tipped across by Allison Willis, back near side. Played back over to the Rock here. Set in the middle and another kill. And this one by Grace Doherty. And the Rock is rolling here early. 6-0 the lead.
Coach Abel is going to take a minute to reset their focus.
Yep, still plenty of time if you're Covenant. Just need to get a point and kind of shift things around a little bit and give yourselves a chance to serve here.
This Covenant team's from Rocket City, Huntsville, Alabama.
Seen a lot of Alabama teams lately.
A lot of Alabama teams and a lot of Florida teams.
Yep, and Alabama and Florida here again. With the Rock being from Gainesville. So Concepcion to serve again. A 6-0 lead for the Rock. And now Waldron in the middle. Put across there by Willis. Concepcion, a little floater across and scores again, and it's 7-0. Now it seems like the Lions here are finding open spots on the floor too. Just being smart about where they put the ball. Serve here, now tracked down by Waldron. Backline hit is out of bounds by Ashley Ingerson. And it's 8-0. So, again, Concepcion to serve. And a short serve goes into the net. It's 8-1, the lead for the Rock. And Mackenzie Waldron will get set to serve for the Falcons of Covenant. Played near side. And another kill, this time for Kariyama Rodriguez. 9-1 the Lions lead as Giovanna Lopez checks in for Grace Doherty. And served by Maddie Fletcher. Now far side, that's blocked up front, but goes out of bounds. So the kill for Laura Beth Cornelius. And now a 9-2 lead for the Rock as Jessica Gaddy checks in. And she will serve for the Falcons. Serve now played near side, and a kill for Giovanna Lopez. And it's 10-2. So the lefty Lexus McRae serving for the Lions. And sent across. Rivera near side, and my goodness, what a hit from Kariyama Rodriguez. I'm telling you, that girl can hit a volleyball. If she gets a set, look out. 11-2 is the lead for the Rock. Outside, that deflected, and that will fall in. A kill for Ashley Ingerson. It's 11-3 as Hope Reed will check in for the Lions. Serve here is an ace for Allison Willis, making it 11-4.
There's one thing we've learned, all these Division I teams are dangerous.
Yep. If anybody gets on a roll, look out. Set to the near side, and there's a kill for Nicole Rivera. I just go back to the Rock, and we've said this numerous times in this tournament. There are so many different people on the Rock that can get it done that's what makes it extremely difficult if you're playing against them. It's not just one or two people. There's a good set and
good dig.
Really good dig. That's Rodriguez in the back row. And another kill up front.
They are fired up.
And it's now 13-4.
That is the one thing. I talked to Coach Stephanie White yesterday and asked her who should we look out for? Who was going to be the big players of the game? And she said, "Hey, you know, we're well-rounded. We've got a lot of contributors, and the more we watched them yesterday, the more we learned she was right."
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of pieces to that puzzle. This deflected up front. Rodriguez couldn't quite get there.
Tried to dig that one. What year is Rodriguez?
I think she's a sophomore. Let me take another look here. Yep, she's a sophomore.
That's right.
There are no seniors on this team, not a one, which is amazing.
Yep.
Serve here, track down by Rodriguez, and I believe Michaela Mkhitaryan was in the net. I was trying to see if that's who they called that on. I think it was, as Lexi Connolly checks in for Covenant.
You know, you told me about all the underclassmen on that team several times yesterday, and every time you told me, it seemed like I was hearing it for the first time because it's just so unbelievable after watching them for a few minutes.
It really is. I mean, that's a lot of high skill for that young. 14-5, the Rock leads. And that's dangerous. A short set to Grace Doherty. And if she gets a good look, she has some power too. And it's 15-5. That's the thing.
There's a look at Doherty here on the front row.
Between Doherty, Rivera, Rodriguez, Concepcion, they can all hit. McRae can too. She's a big hitter from the outside. So there's just a lot of options. That's hit a little bit long, just out of bounds.
Just outside.
It is 16-5, the lead for the Rock.
And that's another thing when things aren't going your way. It just seems like everything you miss the out of bounds by just a couple of inches.
Let's serve into the net by Giovanna Lopez. Makes it 16-6 as Maddie Fletcher back in for the Rock. And also Tori Ellingson checks in for Covenant. Is served by Ashley Ingwerson. Back far side, and believe it was Tori Ellingson that was in the net. Makes it 17-6. Well, I feel like big hitters in volleyball, this is your game, and that short serve a little bit too short from Nicole Rivera makes it 17-7. Here deflects off the ceiling. Without good sets, and they just continually have them.
You know, Coach White did say number 1 Rodriguez has a big swing, and we've seen that to be true.
And Laura Beth Cornelius, Nicole Rivera doing a very set, speaking 20-9. Just that double 21-9.
In the sport here at NACA Sports.
And there is an ace for Alexis McCrae, 22-9.
Certainly takes a trained eye to pick up on that.
And there's another ace, and it's 23-9. And I'm going to tell you something, the Rock has just come out.
Yeah, they've come out
ready
swinging.
To play. Yep, ready to go. McCrae serves it up here. Now it just set across.
With that being said, they had the opportunity to play here. How many times yesterday? 4 times we watched them. They had the opportunity to play here. I'm sure they're feeling at home here, comfortable with the.
Yep, that is true. They have had a lot of experience on this court.
In all, in this tournament, there is up to 12, I believe, 12 different venues around the area that these teams go, kind of like we talked about yesterday, kind of like the Amazing Race, where they'll play at one place and then go and travel, find out where they go next. Depends on whether they win or lose, depends on where they go, so they really don't know where they're going next until after the game. And it's not far. It's just gyms, different schools, and colleges and the YMCA and places of that nature around the area.
So 23-11 the Rock leads. Now an opportunity here. That's Rivera. Now track down, and that will go out of bounds. And now 24-11 is the lead for the Lions from the Rock. Bailey Ames back in for Covenant.
We got the big hitter, Rodriguez, serving.
And Concepcion back into that front row. Now a game point for the Rock.
Good dig.
Play to the outside, Rivera, and she will get the kill, and that'll do it for game 1. 25-11. The Rock takes game 1 over Covenant. Take a break, come back with game 2 in just about 3 minutes. Go through some of those ads from the NACA.
Some of our event sponsors. One of those is Score International. They do a great ministry with sports throughout the world, and we're proud to have them as a sponsor. Let's take a look at some of one of their clips right here.
So we start off game 2 with an ace from Covenant. Mackenzie Waldron to serve again as they lead it 1-0. And Concepcion fires. Good dig. In that back row by Ames. That hit into the net, and we are tied at 1.
I don't think we've seen the best of what Covenant has to offer.
I don't think so either. But the Rock has been
phenomenal.
So good that it's been kind of difficult to tell. Concepcion with a
swinging
hit from the back row. That's the middle of the back line hitting like that. And Concepcion to serve again with the Rock leading 2-1. Outside it goes. That's deflected. Set out, blocked. And then deflected out of bounds. So we're back tied at 2. As Jessica Gaddy checks in, she will serve for Covenant. That played by Concepcion. And that
good
hit
dig,
a ton.
good hit.
And still played up front.
Somehow managed to get it over that time.
Concepcion in the back row. Just a little floater and taps it across. Now 3-2 the lead for the Rock. And Maddie Fletcher will serve as Giovanna Lopez checks in. Fletcher's serve is an ace.
What grade is Miss Maddie Fletcher?
She is a junior. 4-2 the lead for the Rock. Waldron with the set near side. That was deflected. Now sent over by Vasquez. And that will make it 5-2. By the way, this is with Kariama Rodriguez on the bench to start game 2. That's what I mean, man. There's just so many weapons.
You know, there's a lot of strategy that goes into this tournament play. There was a lot of games these teams played yesterday. You know, a lot of decisions for the coaches to make as far as keeping their players fresh because it's just back-to-back-to-back action for these players. And
well, serving to the net by Allison Willis makes it 6-3. The Rock leads. And a serve here by Lexus McRae. That tipped across and down will make it 6-4. As Hope Reed will check in. Laura Beth Cornelius serve here for Covenant. That's out of bounds. 7-4 now the lead for the Rock. Is Lexi Connolly back in for the Falcons. And that's out. So a couple of service errors. Now 7-5, the lead for the Lions from the Rock. As Tori Ellington checks in for Covenant. Reed with the set back near side. And a good hit from Nicole Rivera. Make it 8-5. As Grace Doherty comes back in. Serve from Lopez is an ace. So Giovanna will get it back again. 9-5 is the lead for the Rock. Serve taken back in the near side. That put And will be a 9-6 lead now for the Rock, as that will go down as a kill. Back in for Covenant is Allison Willis. Serve for Bailey Ames. It's Concepcion. She took a little bit off of it there. Now the Rock will try it again. And that blocked up front, but still alive. And that hit out of bounds. And that's 10-6, the Rock. And here is our first look at Kariama Rodriguez here in game 2 as she'll check in. Also, Alexis McCray back in. So Nicole Rivera's serve is an ace, and it's 11-6. Serve for Rivera. Back in the middle now. Rock will play it. Rodriguez from the back line. Good dig by Covenant. So back row that time for Nicole Rivera. And it is 12-6. The lead for the Rock. Rivera's serve now played to the near side. That blocked up front. And that hit out of bounds by Mackenzie Waldron. It's now 13-6. You know, we were talking a little bit. I can't imagine there's too many teams that are better than the Rock. Although that is possible. But right now, at least the way the Rock is playing at this tournament, I don't know if I've seen anything yet that can beat them. Now, we haven't seen Asheville yet either, and that's the #1 overall seed. So get a look at them later. There's a block that ricochets out of bounds. 14-7 is the lead for the Lions. As Laura Beth Cornelius checks back in for Covenant.
This is Stephanie White's first year as a coach here with the Rock, but she says she believes it's the Rock's 5th appearance here at the NACA tournament. We know they're a mainstay in other sports, such as the basketball, which is held right here, and it's really something to see.
Nicole Rivera is in the net, so it goes back over to Covenant again. Set to the outside, McCray fires. It's returned on one hit. Now Concepcion, and that will make it 15-8. Now, see, that's just the thing. You get a hit from one side, and you return it, and they just reverse it to the other side and hit it just as hard. And it doesn't matter who's up there. It's just a constant rotation of big hitters. And a set into that back line. Boy, what a dig in that back row by Maddie Fletcher. A one-handed dig at that. And then a good play up front for Covenant as it deflects off the front row of the Rock. 15-9 is the lead for the Lions. Jessica Gaddy to serve for Covenant. Rodriguez took a little bit off of it, and we had somebody in the net for Covenant, making it 16-9.
There's Coach White, close to the sideline, keeping close tabs on her team and always coaching.
Rivera to Rodriguez. That's blocked and then somehow returned anyway by Fletcher, who gets the point. Well, there's a lot of ways to get a point. That one is rather unorthodox, but it worked. 17-9. The Rock leads. And that served into the net, making it 17-10. And Allison Willis sets in or comes in and will serve. That goes into the net. And now she'll head to the bench as Bailey Ames checks in. Also, Michaela Mkhitaryan back into the lineup for Covenant. Gray's serve played in the middle, just tipped across. Now back row, McCray hits that out, and it's 18-11. Hope Reed back in for the Rock. And played off the ceiling. Still alive, and then some miscommunication between Hope Reed and Cariema Rodriguez, and it's 18-12. Laura Beth Cornelius serves here. Rodriguez hit that one a little bit too far to the outside, and an unusual error for Cariema, and it's 18-13, so maybe the Rock leaving the door open a little bit now. Rivera gets a kill from that far side. Boy, that's a tough hit from just standing on the floor. And it's 19-13. Lexi Connolly back in for the Falcons. And Cariema Rodriguez to serve. And she'll serve it into the net, making it 19-14. Tori Ellingson back in for Covenant. And Concepcion let it fly. Boy, good save on the far side by Waldron. And this just tipped over. Now the Rock will play it again. And Rodriguez in that back row, still alive. And played back across. Good hustle. And Concepcion fires, and we have somebody into the net for Covenant. Boy.
What an exchange.
That's some volleyball.
You got to give these Covenant ladies from Covenant some credit. They're starting to settle in and play some good volleyball.
Grace Doherty checks in, and we have a rotation error for Covenant. As they somehow got out of rotation, and it's 21-14. Now Giovanna Lopez with the serve. It's bumped across. And hit from Rivera, now set in the middle, and that's blocked up front by Doherty. 22-14. So Giovanna Lopez to serve again. And that is an ace, and it's 23-14.
We would like to thank everybody for tuning in and for scores updates for boys soccer, which is running, that tournament's running concurrently with the girls volleyball. Please stay tuned to NACA Sports Facebook page. Can be found at facebook.com/NACA Sports, and or follow at NACA Sports on Twitter.
So 23-15 is the lead for the Rock. The serve here from Ames. Taking the middle, Doherty. She'll get a kill and make it 24-15. And now match point as Lexus McCray back in. Serve now. Played up front by Connolly. Near side, that's deflected. And Concepcion hits that out of bounds, and it's 24-16. Still match point. Laura Beth Cornelius back in. And there's an ace. And Mackenzie Waldron will serve again. Set in the middle, Doherty will just put it across. And that falls in, so 24-18. Still match point here.
If we've learned one thing from our time here at NACA, it's you can never count anybody out.
Nope. You always got to go to the end. Rivera back near side. Concepcion hit the top of the net and then was dug out. He's tipped across. Now sent over. Covenant will play it again. That hit into the net and that'll do it. 25-18 is the final in game 2. And the Rock will take it in 2 straight. And they will move on to the semifinals of Division 1. And we still have a couple games left this afternoon as well. I think 2 more games in our day session before we take a break and come back for the nighttime games. So we have another matchup, I believe, 2 o'clock or 2:20. I think 2:20 is the next scheduled matchup. So we've got a little while yet, about 50 minutes or so. So we will take a break. We'll come back then. You've been watching the National Championship Volleyball Tournament from NACA at Fort Bluff Camp.